Good morning, students. It is the poem Keeping Quiet. One of the most important and very relevant when the world is suffering from fear and anxiety, where he wants a refuge, shelter, how one can remain peaceful. This very poem is quite relevant, written by Pablo Neruda. It is the first video in which I will tell you about how the author has really tried to mold us, shape us, our mind. It is the first video for class 12 English. So here you can understand these things, how this child wants us to be quiet. You can see. You must have seen this very poet Pablo Neruda. It is the poet, his pen name. He was born in 1904 and died in 1973. It is the pen name of Neftali Ricardo Reyes Basalto, who was born in the town of Paral in Chile. And he is a Chilean poet, famous Chilean poet, diplomat and politician. He also got the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. He wrote in green ink, which was his personal symbol for desire and hope. Neruda talks about the necessity of quiet introspection and creating a feeling of natural understanding among human beings. Stillness and silence will help man in creating these feelings. Pablo Neruda divides his poem into stanzas, but there is no rhyme or meter. So, the lengths of lines differ in different stanzas. Therefore, there is a shift in thought as we move from one stanza to another. His writings are simple, wherein lies their beauty. There is originally written in Spanish. The essence of this poem is based on introspection and retrospection. The poet feels that some soul searching is needed for us to be at peace with ourselves and others. Now I would like to tell you about the summary of this very poem, Keeping Quiet. The poet wants to keep still till he counts up to 12. For once, let us not talk in any language on the earth. He asks us to stop moving our arms so much for 1 second. He wants no rush or hurry for a second. Engines and other machines must stop for a moment. That moment will be a fascinating moment for all of us, and all of us shall enjoy the sudden strangeness of the moment together. The poet wants that the fisherman would not harm the whales in the cold sea of polar regions. Even the man gathering salt with his own hands must take care of his hurt hands. All kinds of wars must be stopped at once. All kinds of wars with guns, gases, and wars with firearms must be stopped now. In such wars, in nuclear wars, victory is meaningless as there are no survivors left after the war. Instead of fighting and waging wars, people should come out in their best dresses. They must go out for a walk with their brothers. They must move about under the shady trees and enjoy doing nothing. The poet does not want that we should confuse stillness with total inactivity. Doing nothing at all would amount to death. The poet has no association with death. So we think that life is to move about. We should not be always on the move. For a while, we should also take rest. A long silence can do us a lot of good. Men become sad when they fail to understand themselves. They feel helpless when they threaten themselves with death. A long silence can soothe our feelings and help us in removing this sadness. This sadness may come to bloom, and the poet gives a best example that when the life is having and no nothing means everything looks dead in the nature that sprouts up, that comes up in the spring when the favorable condition occurs, and once again there is happiness on life. So here the poet wants to convey a very good message to all of us that they should keep quiet and not allow anyone to fight so that they can. Firstly, I told you about the explanation, theme, and summary, and here there are some poetic devices that I will tell you. Arms, it is pun, means the guns, weapons, and arms of the human beings. Sudden strangeness, that refers to alliteration. His hurt hands, H sound is there, so it is also alliteration. Wars with fires, wars with guns, wars with gas, that is repetition. The earth can teach us, that is personification. The earth has become a teacher human being. Personified. Symbolism. Symbolism is abundant in keeping quiet. Fisherman and whale stands for the oppressor and oppressed respectively. Salt gatherer is symbolic of humanity, whereas clean cloth symbolize peace. So here you have understood about the summary and the poetic devices, and now I will tell you something more stanza wise, reading as well as line by line, word to word explanation, so that you can understand it in the next videos. And so I think you will like to watch the next one. Thank you, children.